Hello everyone, my name's Kevin. I am here to talk to you a little bit about peace, because this is something that most of us have not these days. See, I was raised in a society of people that didn't understand me, and I didn't understand them. Now I do. See, I never had peace in that old timeline because there is not a world of truth. Truth comes from within, and in that society, truth was cast aside. It was not put first. And when you don't have truth, it builds up. It builds up right here until you can't speak, you can't think clearly, and you don't know what to do. When you've never had peace, maybe you don't know what that looks like. But I do know what it's like without it, and it got to be unbearable for me. Somewhere I didn't want to be. More than peace, with peace comes happiness. I was not happy for a long time. And that is because those around me were manipulative, I built my identity out of that. Therefore, I had a fake identity because I was playing along with it. And I didn't even realize for a long time. I just thought that's how things were. This is the way you're supposed to be. Everything where I come from is down to earth. People practicing spiritual things behind closed doors, but they won't talk about it in the open. If you're someone who needs peace, and I imagine you are, we all need that to a degree, and we should have the peace in a large degree and happiness. But you can't be happy when you're fake. See, I come from a family, a society of narcissists. They push fear, and they try to control you with that fear. Control is what they want. Isn't it what we all want? At the least. And we don't want others doing the controlling. We need to be in control. Right now, I'm trying to take back my control, regain my peace and happiness with myself. See, I always look to others for answers because that's the way I was programmed. programmed myself that way. But happiness has to come from within. And when you're in those situations where you're constantly being gaslit, manipulated, there is no peace. These societies don't want peace. They don't want you to have peace. They don't want you to have happiness. They want you to follow their rules. Do not step outside the lines. Stay inside that box and don't think for yourself. That's not me. I'm a thinker. I figure things out on my own and with the help of God. That is the big thing. And I don't want to preach because I'm not religious. But when I'm able to be honest with myself, God comes in. And when God comes in, and I let Him lead me, I do the right things. And I get the right connections. I have a lot to say, and I don't know how to put it all in a video, so I'm just trying to start somewhere and get a rough draft kind of what I want to say, and then maybe build on that. But all my life I was manipulated. Gaslit. And when this happened to me, instead of rising above it, I fed into it and it grew larger. And it's tough. It's really hard not to feed into that. Because this comes from a place that you have put together inside you, and it feels like home, family, friends, co-workers, employees. You have to get to a point to where you put your foot down and say, I just can't do this no more. And I want a better life. I need happiness. That's where I'm at today. I'm standing here with a new vision. This vision, it includes truth, not lies, cover-ups, all that stuff that I pushed down here and stopped me up. I was spiritually broken. I didn't know how to access my spirituality. And when I try to rise above it, they come out of the woodwork. They try to manipulate you back. And when you're an empath, you have a good, caring heart for others. You buy right back into that sometimes before you even realize it. We have to get through our head that life is an illusion, because it is. It's not real. It's fake. It's people being fake. I'm not a fake person. I want to live in my truth. I want to stand in my truth. I want to rise out of here I want to rise to a place where I can help others. Others that have walked in my shoes and understand what this is. It's spiritual warfare. And if you don't take hold, take control of your life, your thoughts, take control of your mind via your heart, and not all these outside influences, you get drugged down to a point to where you may not escape. Most don't come back from this old matrix is what it is. False reality. I don't live in fear. That fear is what made me determined to come up out of this and start a new life for myself. I want this new life, and I'm leaving the old behind to get happiness and peace and contentment and much more. That's the very basic needs that we should all have met. But we're here for more than basic needs. You know, there is a piece of God in every one of us that we're taught not to believe in. Excuse me. We're taught not to believe in by the modern society. Through its wicked ways of deception and manipulation. I've been on a journey now for a long time. I've undergone a separation with my wife. My home life was not real either. I was manipulated by my wife every day. Manipulated into overreacting. For an agenda that I didn't know existed. Okay, this agenda has everything to do with false reality and keeping us inside of that box. Okay, there was a lot of us in this new society that understand how things actually are, and maybe a lot of these kids, these newer kids, they're so much smarter than what I was. They're born into this with knowledge and spirituality that they have not had taken away from them by the ways of this wicked society. For the longest time, I didn't know that there was anything else outside of that. I thought I was stuck. But I refused to live in fear, and I refused not to live in my truth. And this eventually drove me out of my society, affected my business, everything. Marriage, ruined my marriage. My marriage was completely ruined by this. I don't think it was ever actually real to begin with. So I'm moving on from that. But it was used to hold me inside that box as long as I let it. I know many of you can relate to this. I know there's many of you out there undergoing these things. And if you haven't, you probably will. And that's why I'm here today. Because I don't want you to live until you're 48 years old to wake up and see this. I want you to be able to rise up out of those ashes and build a life for yourself and your family that's unimaginable. Everything you dreamed of. Put your dreams first. I know you're saying that's hard to do. You know, we're stuck in these situations is what it's made to feel like. But there's a way out. There's always a way. And now I can see clearly that there are good people out there in the world. You know, my dad, I respect my dad a lot. He's taught me so much. He's very talented. But he is also in this community, and out of fear, he was not able to rise up out of this. And he was not able to help me either, in many ways, because he was held back by the society. When I started realizing what was going on around me, I saw my friends, you know, it's like they got rewarded to join. I can remember thinking at one time, you know, what are they giving out these memberships in Cracker Jack boxes these days? Because that's what it seemed like everyone is now against me. And it's not easy to see who it is, because they will manipulate you and they won't tell you the truth. As an empath, I've been intuitive all my life, but I was taught to suppress that, ignore it. So I never knew what it meant or how to read it. It's a feeling. It's a feeling in the gut, in the heart. It has nothing to do with the brain. The brain is last. The brain is a servant when this is done correctly, because it should take orders from the heart. I have a lot of things I would like to talk about. I have a fire inside of me that has been burning for years. And I kept my mouth shut about a lot of things in a lot of ways. In other ways, I didn't. When I learned them, I blurted it out, shouted things out, cursed them. In the end, it turned me into a person I didn't want to be. Constantly fighting for my life is what it felt like. And there's no way to be happy in that situation, no matter how much you try. You know, my wife and I were married for 8 years, 9 years going on. It was an off feeling the whole time, but it's like I couldn't put my finger on it. but I knew it wasn't right because there were truths that were being hidden. Even got to the point where I came out and said, she told me one day, I don't know what to do. It's like she's caught between a rock and a hard place because she has someone else that she answers to first. Well, I tell you what you do is you be true to your spouse first. And if you don't have that, then you don't have anything. Foundation has to come from truth. And when you don't have this, it's chaos. That's what my life was. Guys, I have lived through so much of this chaos. It has mentally destroyed me. I've been attacked from all angles and didn't know where it was coming from a lot of the time. Didn't know that it was an attack until later. We got to watch our social media, guys. Don't get caught up too much in that because it can be manipulated. I'm still struggling with this discernment because I've been so mind fucked that when something good comes in, I think it's evil. And that's how I hold myself back. I don't allow the good to come in. That was in the past. That is the old life, and I'm here for a new, happy life. I'm ready to live in my truth and not conceal all these things that keep me sick. If any of you out there can resonate with this, I'll have more messages, but live for your truth. It's scary as hell going against the norm. I got to a point where I refused the fear. And that's the only way that I could survive it. When I saw fear being pushed, I pushed it back. I made them afraid of me. I begged for it to stop in ways, in prayer, but they just kept poking. They thought they were poking a monkey. They were poking a fucking lion. Because that's what has become of me. That's what they made me into. And I'm grateful. Because that's what it takes to escape this matrix. Push the fear aside. Fear isn't real. It's false energy appearing real. Fear isn't real. That's what I'm trying to do here as I speak. Because even as I speak of my new existence, the old is attacking, trying to pull me back in. We have to stay focused. That is my weakness, has been my weakness, is not staying focused. I'm here today to narrow my focus in a direction that I want to go and quit giving away all of my energy in my focus to other areas. If anyone out there can relate to this message, please comment, like, subscribe. I would appreciate everything. All your comments help me, and they help us connect. We need to be the ones connecting. Real people connecting with real people who don't want this fear in their lives anymore, or this shame, guilt that is used to manipulate and control us. My name's Kevin. I love you guys. I do have family out there. They are good people. And I'm looking forward to meeting you and talking to you. Bye for now.